What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Poker Vlog. Today we are headed to play another 1-3 session in Springfield, Missouri. Hopefully we can reel off another win. We have the two winners of the Stump the Spread premium packages. I'm gonna put their names right up here. I'll go ahead and get into contact with them in the comments and let them know exactly what they've won and get them hooked up over there. Should be pretty exciting. I know Stump the Spread's coming off another huge baseball weekend where they just absolutely crushed it. So that should be pretty cool. So today we're going to go ahead and get into my story a little bit and my results. So the way things were going before coronavirus, I had finally gotten a very reasonable office job, something I had wanted for a long time since graduating from college, where I was working for a travel company, Expedia. So yeah, I guess you guys can probably see where this is going. So unfortunately, with the advent of the coronavirus and all travel basically globally being shut down, I, being one of the low people on the totem pole, was one of the first cuts from the large Expedia offices here in Springfield, Missouri. Turns out that I wasn't anywhere close to being part of the only group of people that were let go. I think about 85% of the people that were in the building, so nearly 1,000 people, I think about 85% have been let go. So that's pretty unfortunate for all of us. Anyway, I had quit Walmart to take this job at Expedia, and shocker of the century, I had hated my time working at Walmart. I'd been there for 8 or so years, had passed up on promotion opportunities and stuff like that because working in retail is such a nightmare and so terrible, for me personally anyway, that I did not want to go down that road. So getting this job for Expedia was great. Well, the job for Expedia came to an end, and I didn't really know what to do next. The only other thing I had done professionally was Walmart, which I really didn't want to go back to, especially with a pandemic raging, and playing poker. So I decided it was time to go ahead, dive back into playing poker professionally. The casino card rooms were all shut down near me and ended up all being shut down anyway. So I dove into the home game streets again. Things took off pretty well for me in May, as you guys can see from this graphic on the screen. We have really kind of crushed it. It's been the biggest cash game winning month of my life by a huge margin. So pretty happy with that. Doing a review of how I'm playing though makes me very nervous because I don't actually feel like I'm playing very well. I just think I'm running well and on the right side of variance. So I don't know. It's tough. It's definitely more pressure playing when this is going to be your primary source of income. Yeah, hopefully we can keep it going. Being a professional poker player for a lot of people is like a dream. For me, it had always been like kind of a goal to get back to that, as I was like kind of sort of doing it in college, but you don't really have the same bills in college and stuff like that, so it doesn't really count. But as like a full-blown adult with all the normal adult bills, being able to pay all of them and have the type of lifestyle that I want through playing poker is pretty much a dream. So anyway, that's kind of the story right now. This is my attempt to live the lifestyle that I want and to get to not have to go back to Walmart, because with the way the employment market is right now, jobs like that are pretty much all that's out there, even if you have a college degree. So getting into the action today. Hope everybody enjoys these Stump the Spread packages. The two winners enjoy the Stump the Spread packages. We'll be doing more giveaways with that. Time to get into some hands. So hand number one, the very first hand of the session, I look down at pocket queens. It's a straddle pot, button straddle. I opened to 20 over 2 limpers from the cutoff. Under the gun +1 calls, and the hijack also calls. The flop comes down a pretty favorable one for us. Flop is king queen 6 with 2 hearts. So it checks to me on a 2-heart board like this. I'm definitely going to go ahead and lead out here. So I bet 15. I think I could size up a bit. I'm not sure why I down bet here. I guess clearly I'm scared to scare everybody off. But anyway, only the under the gun +1 player makes the call. Turn is a 7 of diamonds, and the action checks to me again. This time I decide to size up just a little bit and bet 25, but unfortunately we get no action and he just folds. So we take down the first hand, flop set on the first hand, like that. So a little bit later on, I look down at ace queen of hearts from the big blind, and I'm starting this hand with about 325. I opened a 20 over a straddle, and the under the gun player shoves all in for like 140-ish dollars. So this is a weird spot. I think I could be against a decent amount of smaller pairs and stuff like jacks through eights, probably sevens or lower would play this differently. But this player is somebody who, if he gets down to like 140, or if he gets down below 200, is probably just going to play kind of like shove and fold. I think about it for a while, and I decide to go ahead and make the call. In cash games, you don't usually show your hands down immediately, and neither one of us do. Flop comes down, 9 high with 1 heart, so not too good for us. Turn is the 4 of clubs, river's the jack of hearts. We flip our hand over, and he shows us pocket kings. So we lose this one. Probably could have just folded it pre-flop. Not really sure why I didn't want to. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to flip for this much, but I don't love it. Think I played it bad. Probably could have just folded here. Oh well. So before this hand, I go ahead and add on for $100 more. So we're starting this hand with about 270, and I look down at ace-2 of clubs from middle position 2. The hijack and the big blind make the call, and we're off to see a flop of queen 10-9 with 2 diamonds and 1 club. The action checks to me, and I go ahead and continuation bet for 20. I'm not sure why I use such a small opening size. I think this puts me in a weird spot. The hijack calls my $20 bet, and we are off to see a turn, which is the 9 of clubs. So now I have the nut flush draw, but it's a paired board. I bet 35 after the hijack kind of checks out a turn. It was very odd. And he makes the call. So kind of weird dynamic now, since he I don't know, very odd. The river comes down, the 4 of hearts. So I brick out completely and decide to go ahead and empty the clip on this one and bet 45. He calls pretty quickly, tanked for, I don't know, not very long, but he definitely thought about it for a second, and shows us jack 8 of spades. So we were flopped kind of dead, then turned some equity, and then punted off money on the river for no reason. I don't like this. I think I force things too much in hands. I need to have more patience, which is hilarious because it was a thing that I prided myself on at the very, very beginning of my poker career as a 13-year-old basically. So maybe I need to relearn some patience. So the next hand we're going to look at, I'm all the way down to about $110 in my stack, and I look down at 8-6 of diamonds from the button. I go ahead and limp, and we get to see a flop, so that works out. And I think it was 6 or 7 ways. So you guys, if you play home games, you see this kind of stuff all the time. If you play live poker at all, you see this kind of stuff all the time where it goes super multi-way to the flop. So the flop is a pretty crazy one for us. Flop is 9-7-5 rainbow, so we just flop the nuts immediately. Small blind bets 15, under the gun +1 calls, and I just make the call here. I'm just trying to figure out how I can double up or triple up in this hand. Turn comes down to 4, so we still got the nuts, feeling fantastic. Small blind bets 40, under the gun +1 folds, and with about $90 left in my stack, I only have one move here. So I go ahead and put it in. The small blind calls, the river runs out some sort of blank, and my hand's good. So we double up. Now we have something of a stack again. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Trying to make a comeback now that we're in this game for 400 instead of our customary 300. So this next hand, I've chipped up quite a bit. I'm up to around 400. We're in the cutoff, and we look down at ace-king offsuit. So this hand, I need some input in because it is kind of crazy. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments, whatever. So under the gun +1 makes it 12. Middle position calls. I go ahead and 3-bet to 40. I'm not sure if I should 3-bet bigger here, maybe 45, but I don't think 40 is terrible, except for the fact that there's a call. So I think I should be 3-betting to a larger size. Only under the gun +1 makes the call. So the initial raiser. Flop comes down, Jack, Jack, 10 with 2 hearts. So I do have the ace of hearts. He checks. I bet 55, and he makes the call. So seems okay. His range is probably slightly capped now. I don't think he can have aces or kings or queens. and I can have all of those still. He obviously doesn't have jacks. He don't think he has tens. I don't think he ever had jack 10 here anyway. So, okay. Turn comes down the 6 of diamonds, and he leads for 100. This is a really weird spot. Could he have pocket sixes here? Maybe. I don't think it's 0%, but I don't think it's very likely. I don't know what I should do here. I think I either need to be shoving or folding, maybe? I'm not sure. I really need like all the advice, please, on this hand. What I end up doing is making the call. I don't think that can ever possibly be good. Because like the 6 of diamonds, I don't have the flush draw anymore. I don't know what my plan was. The river comes down the 7 of diamonds, and he shoves for 130. So I definitely don't think that his turn bet makes any freaking sense at all, unless he has exactly pocket sixes, which seems very weird. I don't even think he would open, because like usually people don't open pocket sixes in games like this. They just limp call them and try to hit a set, and if they don't hit a set, they just like go on with their lives. Facing a $130 shove, I think about it for a long time. I can't really decide what to do. Obviously, I'm just like 200% bluff catching at this point, and like it has to be some sort of ridiculous bluff. Like, is he doing this? I guess he could be doing this with like king queen, maybe king queen of hearts or something like that. I'm not sure. So I guess there are some draws that you could have here. So I end up tanking for a long time. I ask him if he will show me if I fold, and he says he will. So I always like to ask that question. I take different things from it every time I ask it. But anyway, I finally fold very painfully, and he shows me ace king of spades. So I don't know how bad I messed this hand up. I don't know what I should have been doing differently, or if I should just fold. I guess if I'm not gonna call the river, I just fold. I think the turn is the mistake. I think I either fold the turn or shove the turn. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, please. All feedback on this hand especially is appreciated, so let me know. But now we are down to a much smaller stack, and we're very depressed that we just got shown the same hand as us in a large pot that we lost. Not too much later, we look down at the dreaded ace king once again. I'm in middle position this time, and I'm starting this hand with about 145. So we are sitting on $145 out of the 400 that we bought in for. I go ahead and open to 15. The cutoff shoves for $68. The button calls, and so I think this is an extremely straightforward spot for me. I go ahead and shove the rest of my chips in the middle, and the button makes the call. The button shows us ace queen of diamonds, so we're in great shape there. But unfortunately, flop comes out queen high with 2 diamonds. The turn is the 4 of diamonds. And so I have no idea what the river is, because I was very disappointed, but I did notice that the cutoff showed pocket kings. So we were just in a world of pain. We do not win. We are very disappointed. Well, I'm out. Lost $400, so that feels terrible. Played mediocre at best. Clearly I have no idea how to play ace king, so I'm going to spend 2 hours tomorrow studying how the hell to play ace king, because apparently I'm an idiot and play it worse than other people in my game play it, because I lost the biggest pot that I played in the entire night with ace king against ace king, and I end up folding the river and he doesn't. God. I gotta play better than I played, or this is a waste of time. It's time to go back to Walmart. This is so stupid. I'm so tilted. Last hand of the night, I got it in with ace king against ace queen and lost that too. So there was some bad luck going on. But man, I could have played it better. We'll get back after it soon. This is not what we were looking for. Not what we were looking for at all. Have a good one, guys. Good night.